A classically trained violinist, a book that celebrates girls and their cats, and a chat with Tyler Perry. It's all ahead on Nonstop New York. Hi, I'm Carol Anne Riddell, and welcome to Nonstop New York. It has been a long few months for all of us, and in many ways, our beloved hometown has felt anything but nonstop. I don't know about you, but I miss the crowds and the noise and that unmistakable hum of energy that makes New York City one of a kind. So today we are bringing you some stories we were working on before the pandemic. We hope our show is a welcome distraction and a reminder of all we have to look forward to as we slowly return to some sense of normal. We kick things off with music to soothe the soul. Susan Juhn introduces us to violinist Gregory Harrington.
Contemporary meets classical. It's the creative calling card of violinist Gregory Harrington. The self-described classical crossover artist performs renditions of popular songs from a host of artists ranging from Radiohead to Bob Dylan, with a style Harrington says is hard to define.
I've always really been curious about taking a violin and seeing how you can just challenge this outside the box and make it completely different. Can you play Hendrix on this and make it sound as if Purple Haze was written for the violin? When you get organically inside a work and transmit what the emotion is, it should never be about the instrument that you use.
Born in Ireland, Harrington was only 4 years old when he discovered the violin at a horse show with his mother. Over the next couple of decades, Harrington studied the violin into his years at university in Dublin while majoring in business. But upon graduation, creativity took a backseat to practicality.
And so Harrington went to work in finance for the next 2 years, until the CEO of his company heard him perform and decided to sponsor his tuition to study music here at the Mannes School of Music in New York City.
That's when Harrington began studying under world-renowned violinist Eric Friedman.
He said, "Greg, I will tell you everything you need to know about playing the violin in 12 lessons. The rest, you're on your own." I think it just allowed me to find my voice.
Harrington spent the next several years of his life finding his voice, a journey that wasn't always easy.
I remember being, I will say, homeless for a number of months in my first year here. When I look back on it, if I didn't quit then, I would never quit.
That was 1999. Fast forward, and Harrington just released his fourth album, Without You, dedicated to his late father, which includes popular and jazz standards that were favorites of his father.
Since then, he has been on that journey with me.
A journey that's had Harrington perform for U.S. presidents, heads of state, and at Carnegie Hall. But he admits his style of music may not be for everyone. And to that, he says,
you can't please everybody, and I think you shouldn't try to. It's just about trying to find the audience of those that love it.
One of our favorite things about New York City is the magic of discovery. There's always a neighborhood spot you've never heard of or visited, and once you go, you can't imagine living without it, especially when there's candy involved. Magalie Laguerre-Wilkinson takes us to Forest Hills to visit a chocolate shop that will melt your heart.
Mark Libertini was driving down Metropolitan Avenue in Queens one day 5 years ago and stopped at a local chocolate shop to pick up some chocolates for his wife, Rachel Kellner. And a strange thing occurred.
There happened to be a for sale sign on the window. So if you know anything about my husband, you know that he met with the owners that day and came home that night and proposed to me that he wanted to buy this chocolate shop.
You heard it right. And let's just say the news wasn't well digested by Rachel, who's a licensed social worker and had a full-time job. Mark is a professional pastry chef and wanted to go into business by himself by doing something sweet for his wife.
I had just come home from a long day at work, And we disagreed about it. So
I realized that my timing was a little off, so I waited a few days until the steam kind of settled down.
And in the span of 2 months, Mark and Rachel were the new owners of Aigner Chocolates. Aigner Chocolates has been a fixture in Forest Hills at the same corner since 1930.
We try to keep as much as we possibly can as far as the original recipes, all the original equipment, and then we add our own flavor. You know, you have to modernize a lot of things. You know, palettes change over the years, and we do a lot of hand decorating, which is a lot of fun. So we're always coming up with new ideas.
For Mark, this was familiar territory. But for Rachel,
I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I have to say, it's the most exciting challenge that we've taken, and it's been really a pleasure that we've been able to do it together.
and their division of labor didn't need to be debated.
So I am here in the basement in the chocolate kitchen. We call it the dungeon. And I do all the creativity, all the chocolate making, all the creative stuff with help from my chocolatier. And I do a lot of ordering for the chocolate stuff. I make sure anything customer service related is Rachel's domain. I do not, I offer suggestions, but I don't dictate anything to her.
Which sometimes I take.
Chocolate is its whole world in and of itself, but with chocolate, it can be very creative outlet. It's a lot of fun.
Fun perhaps, but not easy for this novice.
So let's start here at the top, and then we'll do our half.
Starting at the top,
Yep.
and I'm doing a half.
That's okay. That's all right.
But what really makes Aigner Chocolates a sweet spot of New York can only be summed up like this.
There are so many businesses coming and going in New York City, and to be part of a business that's allowing traditions to continue, I mean, there's nothing that says, a love letter to New York, quite like that.
We've got another visit to put on your list. A Brooklyn comic shop is giving kids an old school experience with a side of creativity. Youngsters can check out comic books or make their own. Donna Hanover has the story.
It depends on what kind of book you're making, because there are a few different kinds, like a book about a villain, a book about a superhero.
A developing storyline from the creative mind of 5th grader Zach Wellington. And boy, is he in the right place.
Maybe did Zelda get struck by lightning?
Oh, that's how she got so electric.
Mm-hmm.
For kids who dream of creating comic book drama, a Brooklyn comic shop provides fertile soil for the imagination. This is Loot, a Cobble Hill mecca for budding storytellers who might become the next Stan Lee.
Well, to me, Loot is all about creating this safe hub, this studio that kids can come and sort of enjoy and be exposed to this underground, I feel unappreciated world of comic books and art.
Joseph Mann is shop manager and art instructor. He works with these young artists and writers as they develop their own comic book characters and alter egos. The kids can also borrow or buy comics.
Are there comic book characters that are particularly appealing to the girls?
Absolutely. We actually have a stack over there specifically for female empowerment. We have a lot of Wonder Woman, a lot of Captain Marvel, a lot of Miss Marvel. We have a lot of Squirrel Girl.
The unbeatable Squirrel Girl beats up the Marvel Universe.
She's half girl, half squirrel with the quick wit, problem-solving smarts, and positive attitude, enabling her to always outsmart the bad guys.
The comic book characters that the kids create are terrific. For example, here we have a mad scientist working at a second floor of the amazing pizza shop was trying to create a serum to conquer the galaxy, because of course you need a serum to conquer the galaxy, and he creates an evil pepperoni pizza slice. There it is.
Joseph Einhorn created Loot, and his personal comic collection is on display. He says Loot is a neighborhood comic book club for kids. And there's an additional benefit. Parents are happy it gets their kids off phone and game screens.
We're trying to offer an alternative offline, analog, where the kids can get a little bit more involved in the creation aspect of it. Instead of just playing somebody else's game, they're able to create their own world.
When they sell their creations, the kids earn loot they can use in the comic shop or in the pizza place downstairs.
They like the idea of earning, and they like the idea of showcasing their talents.
Meantime, the creative juices were flowing, and the characters so far included a ghost raised by magicians and a half-man, half-centipede crime fighter. I wanted in on the action.
What kind of powers should I give my superhero girl?
Zappy Zelda.
Zappy Zelda. Zappy Zelda. Okay.
Zappy Zelda will have lightning powers and high jump abilities, but it's only the beginning. A superhero takes a little time. I'm Donna Hanover, hard at work for Nonstop New York.
I love my dog Hudson every day, but she has been a real source of comfort and some desperately needed laughs recently. And I think most New Yorkers feel the same about their pets. We caught up with photographer BriAnne Wills and her two cats to talk about her book aptly titled Girls and Their Cats. No offense, Hudsy. BriAnne, thank you so much for having us over today.
Thank you so much for coming.
So your book's a collection of photographs called Girls and Their Cats, and it is exactly that. Tell us a little bit about how this project got started.
So I moved to New York in 2015 to pursue fashion photography, but I hadn't started working yet, and I needed a project to keep me busy, so I decided to do a series of nudes. Mm-hmm. The first woman I was photographing nude in her home had a cat. And the cat decided to join the photo shoot, and I just let it happen, and I took photos of them together. It just got me thinking about cat ladies, or cats in general, and how they get such a bad rap. So I decided to sort of change direction and photograph cat ladies instead. I wanted to photograph cat ladies how I saw them, and I wanted to show everybody else that this is actually what the modern cat lady looks like.
And so what is the modern cat lady?
She's independent, she's ambitious, she's interesting, and she might have a partner, she might not, she might have children, she might not. There is no one type of cat lady.
Well, we have to hear a little bit about your cats. You've got Tuck and Liza.
Yes, they're both my little children. They are strays that my husband and I rescued when we lived in Ukraine, and we brought them over with their passports, and now they live a spoiled American life in Brooklyn. They're everything to me.
I was struck by what you said in the book about how Liza and Tuck sort of save your sanity on a daily basis. What do you mean by that?
They have this energy around them that's calming, and they're hilarious.
So I have to ask, what do you make of the dog person, cat person debate? And I say this with full disclosure that, my dog is my queen. So what do you make of it?
I'm a dog person and a cat person.
Okay.
I'm an animal person, but I have a special affinity for cats.
There's a section in the book called You Know You're a Cat Lady When. So what are some of the giveaways?
I have probably 5 lint rollers in this house. I have one in my luggage. I have one in my closet. I have one somewhere around here, in my purse, everywhere.
Lint rollers,
Lint
okay.
rollers. Never leave house without them.
Something that struck me in reading the book was the whole notion of cats having owners. Because is it really a thing?
No, you can't really own a cat.
Right.
But they can own you.
Right, it seems that way.
We just live together. We coexist.
How do you start a day's work?
Coffee. Mm-hmm. I think that's probably the main thing. I really enjoy working from bed for the first hour of the day with my coffee and my cat.
The cats join?
Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
BriAnne, thank you so much for having us over. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I really enjoyed the book.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we've got to sit down with two of our favorite A-list celebs. Neil Rosen chats with Tyler Perry and Phylicia Rashad about their Netflix movie and their affection for New York City.
I breaks attitudes with cheering like this. You heard of the horse whisperer? I'm the kid whisperer.
Man, this is crazy.
What'd you say?
Tyler Perry might be best known for his role as the feisty and incorrigible character Medea. But Perry's actually a mogul. If being an actor, producer, writer, and director of numerous successful films, theatrical productions, and TV shows were not enough, he also owns Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, one of the largest production facilities in the United States.
This is unfair.
It's your job to walk into that courtroom and make it fair.
His latest movie, currently streaming on Netflix, is the thriller A Fall from Grace. You were here for a number of weeks at several different intervals doing your play at the Beacon Theater many years ago. I remember seeing that on the marquee. And I don't know, we're here in New York now. I wanted to know what your thoughts are on the city. Have you ever lived here? Have you ever spent significant time here other than doing the play?
I have an apartment here in Tribeca, so yeah, the last show we did here was Radio City Music Hall, and let me tell you something. And even in Brooklyn, we did Brooklyn Kings. I love the people of New York. I love the audience. I love the camaraderie. I love how you think that watching that movie was something, you should see them at one of my live shows. So I love the audiences here in New York.
That's nice. Bounce, 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 bounce.
Define New York City style to you. What is it that you're fond of? You said you have an apartment here. Other than the performance aspect, just like free time when you're spending some time here.
What do I love about New York?
Yeah.
Let's see. The truth of the matter is, New York is an amazing town. The architecture is amazing. The buildings and the skyscrapers as I'm walking through, it's really, really amazing. And what I try to do when I get here is focus on all the good of what it is rather than hearing the noise. Because I have friends who don't hear it. You didn't even hear that siren, did you? I'm all over I hear everything. I see everything. I take in everything. I feel people's senses and emotions. So when I'm here, I'm constantly tapped in. And listen, being Tribeca is a little more relaxed than out in all the chaos of Manhattan. It's a lot. It's a lot for a country boy who doesn't know much about this kind of madness.
You knew something and you didn't tell the police. That's a crime, right?
One of the stars from A Fall from Grace is famed film and TV actress Phylicia Rashad, who makes her home in a suburb of New York City.
New York City is changing. And I think the thing that really makes New York City is the people. It's the people. And the buildings, yeah. All the traffic, yeah. But it's the people. And you encounter the people when you go to restaurants, you encounter the people in the museums, you encounter the people in the park and on the streets and in the markets, But the people are always the heart of a city. All this other stuff, you take people out of here, what do you got? Yeah. Brick and mortar? That's not a city. A city is people. I'm not going anywhere.
With Phylicia Rashad and Tyler Perry, I'm Neil Rosen for Nonstop New York.
Buskers. They are the soundtrack to our city. Musicians who perform in subways, on sidewalks, and street corners for donations. And we miss them right now. So we decided to bring you this story from 2018, all about the art of busking.
A busker is someone who performs in public. That might be in a park, on a street corner, and often in New York in the subway, and often accepts donations for their work. Busking's always been around in the city, and there are some very early historical records that show that. There was a huge tradition with Italian and Eastern European immigration in the 20s and 30s of like organ grinders, so people cranking those traditional organs on the street corner, people playing accordion. There was a riot of street musicians in, I believe, Washington Square Park, where they had like a weekly sing. And that was considered illegal at the time, and they went and they fought it and they won, and so street performing has been legal since then.
Gonna build me a little steeple on a mountain so high.
My name is Hubby Jenkins, and I'm a pre-war American musician. In New York, our connection to folk music is the 50s and 60s folk scene in the West Village. And Washington Square Park was a hub for folk music. And so when me and my crew started getting into it, we started hanging out in Washington Square Park. And we'd see other people playing guitars. A lot of older people still hung out there, would have jams. And we just started busking.
I just perform with my guitar and myself, and I actually have had police officers tip me when I'm playing underground, so it's peaceful. For me, I know in other instances people have had problems, but in my case, I was lucky. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and I moved from there when I was 5, so I spent a lot of my life in Virginia, Hampton, Virginia, and then I moved to New York when I was a teenager.
Coming to New York fresh out of college, I learned that performance was legal in the subway, and I instantly felt drawn to that. Plus, it was a way to make some money, and I needed that at the time. In New York City, street performance has been legal since, I believe, the late 60s, early 70s. Subway performance was always illegal, though it was very much done until 1985. That was the year Roger Manning, who is a singer-songwriter, guitarist, received a summons for playing on Lexington Avenue. He contested it, and the judge actually found that it was unconstitutional to ban artistic performance in the subway since it was a public space.
A lot of the things I got out of busking was learning what interests people, what doesn't interest people, and how to emote, because you have to shout over people and shout to get people's attention. There's a big difference between busking and performing, and definitely as I started performing on stage, I had to learn how to temper the busking attitude, but I think it helped me a lot.
Playing underground has helped me so much because when I first started playing, I was nervous. I didn't sing the same. I didn't put the same passion. Even performing-wise, I didn't even connect quite the same with the audience. When I write songs, I have a pretty simple process. I pretty much just come up with the chords on my guitar, and then I don't ever have like an idea of what the song is going to be about. I tend to just start singing about a topic, and I end up just going with that. One of my biggest influences is Ella Fitzgerald, and then I would listen to like pop, indie kind of, that kind of style, and I think that's how it's made my style today. And I call it, well, it's hard to put a label, but I say acoustic soul or pop soul, whatever you want to call it, but that's what made my sound today.
No, I don't want another broken heart.
Safe to say we could all use a chuckle, and we can always count on our Barry Mitchell for that. So we end today's show with his trip a few months ago to a very unusual barbershop.
Guys?
Sweet Adeline.
Welcome to the NYC Barbershop Museum, where you can get a
shave and a haircut, shampoo.
Hi, my name is Artur Rubinov. I'm a fourth-generation master barber from former Soviet Union, and I'm the founder of NYC Barbershop Museum over on Columbus Avenue, Upper West Side. Thanks to my father, when we came to this country, he started buying memorabilia for barbershops, and he always told me that this is not junk, it carries history. You don't know who been cut by the scissors or a comb. I have 46 antique barbershop chairs in my collection. We have 6 currently at the museum, and we rotate them every 6 months.
Boys and girls together, there was me and Amy Rourke.
We're called the Brooklynaires, and we're a barbershop quartet. We also sing stuff like jazz and choral music. We're kind of all musicians from different backgrounds. And this is actually our first time singing in a barbershop, let alone a barbershop museum. It's a pretty cool experience for us.
The sidewalks of New York.
So Arthur, how come we have antique dental tools in a barbershop?
Well, up to 1940s, barbers used to perform minor surgeries and dentistry in the barbershop.
I know about the red barbershop pole. Barbers years and years and years ago used to do bloodletting, and that's how they advertised, by putting a red bloody rag on a pole outside. Now, the red stands for blood, the white stands for towels, and the blue means they took Blue Cross?
No, that stands for the vein.
Oh boy, that's a hot towel. Are you sure this is safe?
Yes, it is.
This is how Albert Anastasia got it.
It's a museum and it's a functional barbershop. We are non-profit, 501c3. It's a free entrance. We give out tours, and we have a tour guide that works here Monday through Friday.
They call it a barbershop quartet because this is actually where the tradition was started. It was started by people that would be hanging around in a barbershop because this is where the social lives of people in the neighborhood would really happen.
The reason I did this is that when I started history about barbering, it used to be a social club. It was a different experience when you used to come to the barbershop. We do individual combs for every customer as a sanitary reasons. We do individual blades for every customer.
This is fantastic. Unless, of course, that chandelier falls on me. I don't know what he's doing, but it feels great. Our thanks to the Brooklynairs, thebrooklynaires@gmail.com. And of course to Arthur Rubinoff, NYC Barbershop Museum.com. I'm Barry Mitchell.
On the sidewalks of New York.
It's so pretty.
That is it for this month's edition of Nonstop New York. We hope we gave you a smile. We will be back with more stories starring our fabulous hometown. In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I'm Carol Anne Riddell. Be well, and thanks so much for watching.